The throttle body controls the precise amount of air flowing into your engine. It sits between your air filter and intake manifold, acting as the gatekeeper for engine breathing. Modern vehicles use electronic throttle control, where sensors and motors replace the old mechanical cable system. This gives your engine computer exact control over airflow for optimal performance and fuel economy. But here's what most people don't realize. When your throttle body starts failing, it doesn't just affect acceleration, it can trigger a chain reaction of problems that mimic other expensive failures, leading you down the wrong diagnostic path. Today we're covering 11 symptoms that point directly to throttle body issues. Plus, I'll show you how to test and clean it yourself before spending money at the shop. Symptom 1. Sluggish acceleration. You press the gas pedal and the engine feels like it's holding back. There's a noticeable lag between your input and the car's response, especially when you need power for merging or passing. A healthy throttle body opens smoothly to match your pedal position, flooding the engine with air for combustion. When the throttle plate sticks or the electronic actuator malfunctions, airflow gets choked off. Your engine is literally gasping for air, unable to produce the power you're demanding. This becomes dangerous on highway on-ramps where you need immediate acceleration. To test this, turn the engine off and locate your throttle body. Have someone press the gas pedal while you watch the throttle plate through the intake. It should open fully and snap back closed smoothly. If it barely moves or sticks halfway, you've found your problem. You can also use a scan tool to monitor throttle position percentage versus pedal input. A significant mismatch means the throttle body isn't responding correctly. Symptom 2. Engine hesitation or surging. The engine bogs down for a moment, then suddenly lurches forward with too much power. This unpredictable behavior makes smooth driving nearly impossible and can be unsafe in traffic. What's happening is the throttle plate is sticking due to carbon buildup or a failing actuator motor. When it finally breaks free, too much air rushes in at once, causing that surge. The engine computer is trying to compensate but can't keep up with the erratic airflow. You'll feel this most during light throttle situations, like maintaining speed in neighborhoods or parking lots. Test it by monitoring how the engine responds to gentle pedal movements. If you get uneven power delivery that doesn't match your inputs, the throttle body is likely binding up internally. Symptom 3. Rough or high idle. Your engine should settle into a smooth, consistent idle when warmed up, usually between 600 and 900 RPM, depending on the vehicle. If you're seeing fluctuating RPMs, shaking, or an idle that sits unusually high, the throttle body isn't managing the small amount of air needed for idle control. Modern engines need precise airflow at idle. Even a slightly stuck throttle plate or a failing idle air control passage throws this off completely. Check for vacuum leaks around the throttle body gasket first. Spray throttle cleaner around the mounting surface while the engine idles. If RPM changes, you've got a leak letting in unmetered air. Also use a scan tool to check actual idle airflow versus what the computer is commanding. A mismatch indicates throttle body issues. Symptom 4. Poor fuel economy. Your gas mileage drops noticeably even though your driving habits haven't changed. The throttle body and its sensors tell the engine computer how much air is entering, which determines fuel injection amounts. When the throttle position sensor sends incorrect data or the plate doesn't close fully, the computer miscalculates and runs the engine rich. You're burning extra fuel for no added performance. This often comes with a stronger fuel smell from the exhaust or black soot around the tailpipe. Track your fuel economy over a full tank after cleaning the throttle body. If your miles per gallon improves by 2 or more, the throttle body was restricting efficient operation. Symptom 5. The check engine light. This is often the first warning you'll get. The engine computer monitors throttle position constantly and compares it against dozens of parameters. When something doesn't match expectations, it logs a fault code and triggers that light. Common codes include P0121 for throttle position sensor range issues, P2111 for stuck throttle plate, or P2112 for throttle actuator control problems. Don't ignore this light hoping it goes away. Use an OBD2 scanner to pull the codes. If they point to throttle-related faults, inspect the throttle body before replacing sensors or other parts. Many shops will replace the sensor first when the real problem is just carbon buildup, preventing smooth operation. Symptom 6. Stalling at idle or stoplights. Imagine sitting at a red light when suddenly your engine dies. You have to restart it, often multiple times during a single trip. This happens because the throttle body can't maintain the minimal airflow needed to keep the engine running at idle. The throttle plate might be stuck closed, or the idle air control system has failed completely. This is more than an inconvenience. It's a safety issue, especially if it happens while turning across traffic or on a busy road. If your engine stalls consistently when coming to a stop, check the throttle body for carbon buildup around the edges of the plate. Even a thin layer can prevent proper sealing and airflow control. Symptom 7. Throttle lag or dead pedal. You press the accelerator and nothing happens for a full second or more. Then the engine suddenly responds, often too aggressively. This dead pedal effect is specific to electronic throttle control systems. The pedal position sensor sends a signal to the computer, which tells the throttle body actuator how much to open. When that actuator motor fails or moves too slowly, you get this dangerous delay. Test this in a safe area like an empty parking lot. Put the car in park and press the gas pedal while watching the tachometer. The RPM should rise immediately and smoothly. If there's a delay or jerky response, the throttle actuator is failing. You can also monitor throttle angle on a scan tool while revving to see if the movement is smooth or stuttering. Symptom 8. Excessive carbon and grime buildup. Open your throttle body and you'll see black crusty deposits coating the throttle plate and bore. This is normal over time as oil vapors from the PCV system and combustion byproducts accumulate, but excessive buildup restricts airflow and prevents the plate from closing properly. This is the most common cause of throttle body problems and the easiest to fix. A visual inspection tells you everything. If you can see thick carbon deposits, especially around the edges where the plate seals, cleaning will likely solve multiple symptoms. The good news is this is a straightforward DIY job that takes about 30 minutes. Symptom 9. Vacuum leaks at the throttle body. The throttle body bolts to your intake manifold with a gasket, creating an airtight seal. Over time, that gasket can deteriorate, or the throttle body housing itself can develop cracks. This introduces unmetered air into the engine, throwing off the air-fuel ratio. You'll get symptoms similar to a dirty throttle body, but cleaning won't fix it because the problem is the seal. Check for hissing sounds around the throttle body at idle. Look for cracks in the housing, especially near mounting bolt holes where stress concentrates. A vacuum leak here will cause high idle, rough running, and lean fuel mixture codes. If you find a leak, the gasket is cheap, but you might need to replace the entire throttle body if the housing is cracked. Symptom 10. Car enters limp mode. Your dashboard lights up and suddenly your car barely accelerates. Top speed is limited to maybe 30 or 40 miles per hour. This is limp mode, your car's built-in protection system. When the computer detects serious throttle body malfunctions, particularly with electronic throttle control, it severely limits power to prevent damage. You can still drive to get off the road or reach a shop, but performance is crippled. Limp mode is triggered by major throttle faults like a completely stuck plate, failed actuator motor, or multiple sensor errors happening simultaneously. If this happens, don't keep driving normally. Get the codes read immediately because continuing to operate in limp mode can cause other damage. Symptom 11. Electrical problems and sensor failures. Electronic throttle bodies have multiple sensors, including throttle position sensors and sometimes accelerator pedal position sensors. These sensors can fail or the wiring connectors can corrode, sending bad data to the computer. You'll get symptoms that seem random, unpredictable throttle response, sudden power cuts, or throttle inputs that don't match your pedal pressure. Before replacing expensive parts, inspect the wiring harness and connectors leading to the throttle body. Look for corrosion, damaged pins, or wires that have rubbed through their insulation. Wiggle the connectors while the engine runs to see if symptoms change. Often a bad connection is the real culprit, not the throttle body itself. How to clean your throttle body yourself. Cleaning a throttle body is one of the easiest maintenance tasks you can do. You'll need throttle body cleaner, which is specifically formulated for this job. Don't use carburetor cleaner as it can damage sensors and coatings. You'll also need a clean rag, gloves, and basic hand tools to remove the air intake duct. Start by disconnecting the negative battery terminal for safety. Locate the throttle body between your air filter box and intake manifold. Remove the air duct to expose the throttle body opening. Spray the cleaner directly onto the throttle plate and bore while using the rag to wipe away carbon deposits. You can gently hold the plate open to clean both sides, but be careful not to force it. Reassemble everything, reconnect the battery, and start the engine. It might idle rough for a minute as it relearns, but then it should smooth out noticeably. When to replace instead of clean. Most throttle bodies last between 100,000 and 150,000 miles, but severe driving conditions can shorten that. If cleaning doesn't improve your symptoms, or if you've found physical damage like cracks or a worn throttle shaft, replacement is necessary. Failed electronic components like actuator motors or position sensors usually mean replacing the entire throttle body assembly on modern vehicles, since these parts aren't sold separately. After replacement, your vehicle will need a throttle body relearn procedure. This varies by manufacturer, but usually involves a specific sequence of key cycles and idle periods that let the computer learn the new throttle body's characteristics. If you're dealing with any of these symptoms, start with a thorough cleaning before spending money on parts. Most throttle body problems are caused by simple carbon buildup that you can fix in your driveway. Drop a comment if you've dealt with throttle body issues. I'd love to hear what fixed it for you. And if this helped you diagnose your car, hit that subscribe button for more practical repair guides.